Welcome back to my channel. My name is V. If you know me from Wandering Sparrow Tarot, go subscribe over there. It's great. Today's video, we're going to be talking about hauntings. Future Victoria here. All right, so I messed up my intro. So the video is about spirit lingerings and house hauntings, how to get rid of those spirit lingerings, why the spirit lingers, and so forth. So back to the other me to explain the rest. Bye, y'all. I got a comment some months ago asking about house hauntings, and with it being the month of October, I figured, why not? What is a spirit? Well, I'm a spirit, you're a spirit, your parents are spirits, your teachers are spirits. Spirits are everybody. Spirits for everybody. Essentially, spirits are who we are. It's our innermost being. It's what encompasses our soul. So essentially, in order for us to exist on this 3D plane, known as Earth, our spirits inhabit our bodies, this physical, blood, bones, guts, what have you, in order to roam in this plane. But the spirit lives on. So that's the reason why too, if you ever heard anybody say, oh, you're an old soul, or, you've been here many a times before, chances are you could have been here many a times before, because the spirit never dies. The body does, but the spirit doesn't. Why do spirits tend to linger? The ones that do. Some of them are disgruntled. So some spirits linger because they are dissatisfied with the fact that they weren't ready yet to pass, essentially. Those spirits weren't ready yet to pass. Some of them linger because they don't know yet that they have died in this plane, unfortunately, but they do figure it out. So essentially, it's not a long process for a spirit to recognize that, whoa, I don't think I'm here anymore. Or I don't think I have my physical body anymore. And then you have some who just don't want to leave. And essentially it's a matter of choice, a choice of moving on or a choice of staying. And some choose to stay. Now, fortunate for us, what separates that 5D and this 3D, this physical plane that we live in, there's a lot. So it's not that these spirits can necessarily disrupt our daily lives, not in a grand way, unless, you're dealing with some other stuff, some possession and whatnots. Then you got a different issue going on, and it's a different video we need to get into. But essentially, spirits aren't able to just manipulate the physical plane in an easy sense, like how you can just call up a friend, how you could just reach out and touch somebody, just reach out and touch somebody. Spirits can't do that, so they manipulate in other ways, such as through electricity, because we are made up of energy. We are energy, essentially. So they manipulate things that have to do with energy, things that have to do with temperature and things of that nature. So how do you know that your house or a place that you've inhabited is haunted? Well, you've probably seen several different movies where somebody's inside of a haunted house or inside of some place with some ghosts, and then all of a sudden, they can see their breath and things like that. And that is absolutely so. Areas in which your household is cold, uncharacteristically so. Now, I'm not talking about in the winter time and it's cold and the heat ain't working. That's not a haunting. That's a problem you need to take up with the building or with the city. But essentially, summertime, it's hot, it's smoldering outside. But for whatever reason, that one place in the sunroom is just like constantly cold, no matter what type of sun comes into that room. Chances are you have a lingering spirit. Have you ever been at home, heard weird noises out of nowhere, and it's like, okay, I'm by myself? Have you seen things kind of like in your peripheral, just kind of fly about, and it's like, okay, what was that? What was that? Chances are that was a spirit making itself be seen. Now, there's a lot of times where spirits are trying to communicate, so they will do little things within their power, with what they can do in order to be seen. Because just like how you or I on this physical plane, are trying to, like to communicate with other people, these were also once physical persons. So they're also trying to communicate with you to get across any type of message. A message of, hey, I'm still here. Maybe they're lingering because they have something that they feel they need to say. There's closure. There's some type of message that they're trying to convey. So seeing as how, you're the closest person to them because you inside of some place that they are, they're trying to get towards you. And that's all that simply is. If the electricity is always seeming kind of wonky and it's like, yo, the lights are flickering and it's not a wiring issue. Now, once again, if your place has a wiring issue, that's something you need to take up with the city, the electrician, or, your landlord. But if you know that those are not the case, a lot of times that could be indicative of the fact that there's a spirit trying to connect with you. Also, I would say, if you have a pet, or if you have children, because it's something about innocence, and it's something about, especially with children, and I feel like a lot of that has to do with the fact that, if that's a child who has chosen to reincarnate, like that spirit has chosen to reincarnate and re-come in, usually a lot of times children are able to pick up on their past life, their past experiences, though they're not able to connect it, but they can detail it, as well as being able to see, interact with, with the spirit realm. Because my personal belief is because they're still so close to it. It's like, you got babies, and just like maybe like 8 months ago, they didn't even exist. They were still in that realm. So now it's like they've inhabited, this physical realm, and they still have communications with it. And honestly, it reminds me of the movie, if any of you all remember the movie Baby Geniuses.
What we hear is baby talk.
Tit tat and sushi.
It's actually conversation.
Don't have a cow, Basil. Your syntax is atrocious. It's because he watches television all the time.
We just don't understand them.
In the movie Baby Geniuses, it talks about how, the babies could talk to each other, and they like spoke like clear, fluid language, right? But then when they crossed over, in a sense, and learned how to speak from like parents and what have you, they no longer could speak with babies back and forth. So essentially the movie was saying like the babies going goo goo gaga gaga was them speaking in real language to one another. But when they crossed over and spoke, they no longer could see. So I feel like that with kids in general, like when they're very young and very innocent, before too much of life is, has perverted their minds and the what have yous, they're still able to connect with those spirit beings, or they're still able to see things. You have many children that have imaginary friends.
I see dead people.
I feel like personally a lot of them are actual friends. These are actual spirits that these kids are seeing. But of course, once they kind of cross over, once life kind of, does its thing and implants itself, now we forget how to communicate with these celestial beings or other worldly beings or other spirits that are essentially all around us. Another way to tell about lingering spirits would be filling out the energy. If you're walking into a place and the vibes are feeling low, feeling empty, feeling just like, then chances are there's something that's lingering there. And probably something that you want to get away from, or you want to expel out of your home. Because if the energy is feeling very draining, very just, then it's not a friendly ghost. You are not living with Casper. We saw movies like this and they're not the nice ones. Pay attention to lost items, things that you haven't been able to find, that you've suddenly found. Have you ever lost anything and without a doubt, it's like, I misplaced it. I had to have misplaced it over here, over there. I don't know if it was over here, over there, but I know it was over here, over there. And you found it in the weirdest place. Now, sometimes we do place things, once again, ruling out practicality. Sometimes we do place things or things fall out and we are unsure of those things. However, items that without a doubt, like, nah, I never leave my bedroom without the da-da-da-da, or I never leave the kitchen with the da-da-da-da, or I never leave the bathroom without the da-da-da-da-da. And then one day you find that item that you've been searching for forever, or maybe not searching, because things tend to pop up when we're no longer looking for them. But an item pops up in a random spot. Like, you all, that actually happened to me the other day. I've recently been doing some remodeling around my apartment. I like rearranged my room, took a whole bunch of stuff out of my room and whatnots and what have yous. And I was looking for this one particular tarot deck. In fact, I don't have the tarot deck next to me. I was looking for one particular tarot deck that I knew fell behind like this little dresser that I had that essentially had like my books and everything. It was like a bookshelf slash dresser slash what have you. And when I moved the dresser, like when I finally moved the dresser, rearranged everything in my room, the tarot deck was not there. And I was like so surprised because I'm like, I know for a fact this tarot deck has to be there, So anyway, flash forward to, I want to say about a week ago, maybe earlier in this week, maybe not even. I'm like cleaning up again. This time I'm cleaning up in the front room and I'm cleaning up around my couch area. And lo and behold, after months of searching for that tarot deck, guess where it was? It was kind of peeking outside of my couch. Now, the strange thing is this, y'all. This is the strange thing. There was nothing in that area when I put that couch into my apartment. Nothing in that area. And I remember praying about it. And I do go to God. I go to God about all types of stuff. Keys, missing pencils, papers, pens, what have you. Like literally everything, right? And I even was like, let it turn up, and I like kind of let it go. And I was like, I felt that the tarot deck was still here. Like I felt like I didn't lose it. I was like, it's somewhere. I don't know where, but it's somewhere. And then lo and behold, it pops up. Now, I don't know how it pops up there, when it pops up there, who it pops up there, because honestly, it was very interesting. But the fact that it's there and it was there and I'm like, who could possibly do it? I don't know who it was, but definitely it had to be Casper, the friendly ghost. I definitely feel like the spirits that inhabit, the space around me, who come more so visiting. I don't feel like I have anybody lingering in my place, but more so visiting. They're always helpful and pleasant and kind, which also brings me to this. So, if you know that you have a spirit that's lingering in your space, how do you get rid of them? Do you want to get rid of them? Do you need to get rid of them? There's a couple of things that you could do. One, starting with asking the spirit to leave. I know that seems like really basic, really like apparent, but honestly, you can truly ask that spirit to leave that space. Now, I know Hollywood tells you that if you ask the spirit to leave this space, the spirit will retaliate, blood will come off the walls and get out. And things of that nature. But honestly, that could happen. But it's not, it likely won't. You can get the spirit to go. You don't necessarily have to call in a priest and, whisk holy water all up and through the home. You can sage. Definitely, like you all, when I tell you the powers of saging, definitely, I recommend it. You could sage out old spirits. I remember in the very beginning of me renting out my apartment, there was a very minor pest control, very minor. And essentially, like, I did everything I needed to do. Like, called the landlord, got maintenance, went to the hardware shop, got everything imaginable to get rid of things. And then I saged and prayed. And let me tell you how I've never seen a thing again, because won't he do it? But yeah, you can definitely sage. You can ask that spirit to leave. You can do cultural things to cleanse your space. If there's some sort of something that your culture, your religion, your ancestors did in order to clear out spaces of unwanted energies, you can clear out space in that way. If you realize that, hey, it is indeed Casper and it is a friendly ghost, and you don't mind, you can simply speak out to those spirits and let them know that I don't mind that your presence is here. Just please don't be disruptive. I know, once again, that sounds like, hey, spirit, just don't be disruptive. But in real life, because keeping in mind that these spirits were once people inhabiting bodies like you and I, you can communicate with this spirit and let them know that, yeah, like, I don't mind, just keep it down. As funny as that may seem, but legit, you could definitely do those things. So you all let me know in the comment section, have you experienced any hauntings, either in your space or in a space that you visited before, a family or friend space? Let me know in the comment section below. I am definitely interested in hearing from you all. And yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next one. Fly free, y'all.